I have a question.
Yes,
I get a lot of lower back pain, and I'm wondering how I can work on that.
a lot of lower back pain is really the tension that surrounds the energy of Kundalini at the base of the spine. And one of the ways to release that pain is to work inside yourself so that that Kundalini energy begins to truly rise up your spine to the crown chakra. And the resistance to doing this often creates pain in a human being. And a lot of times that has to do also with sexual energy, where energy is very congested in the sexual area and it's not flowing to the base of the spine to activate the Kundalini. So there's pain, there's resistance, there's that kind of experience one has. And through gradual building of a chakra system, you begin to release that pain and you begin to get free of the pain, and also it enables you to live with a lower back that is a lot more healthy. So it's part of the growth. Energy is trying to move up the spine to the top of the head. There's resistance, and that resistance is creating pain. Now, as I've said many times, pain has a frequency. And if we open and develop a system inside, we can go above the frequency of the pain, and the pain, we won't feel the pain. It could be there, but we won't feel it because our consciousness can rise above the frequency of pain. All of this is part of inner growth, discovering what really is wrong inside ourselves, and then using the Shakti, the energy, the spiritual growth to heal ourselves of these problems that exist. And you know, that patience takes a long time to build up that resistance inside oneself, and it takes time to be able to to overcome it, to free ourselves of pain. And yet, as I said, I'll say it again, pain has a frequency. And if you build an inner life that's strong enough, you can go above the frequency of the pain and you stop feeding it. Because what makes pain even stronger is the mind gravitates to the area with its pain and it feeds the area, our thoughts, our thinking, that energy of the mind feeds that area, and pain often gets worse. If you can detach yourself from it and not feed the area of pain, the pain subsides. It will go down. And it's all part of a process of inner growth, of learning how to work with yourself and understanding that we all need to be healed of something. I mean, we live in a world where everybody has some kind of problem, and we need to be healed of that problem. And one of the ways of healing ourselves is developing the ability to detach ourselves from the problem, not think about it, not worry about it, not keep our mind glued to it all the time. And by doing that, we no longer feed it and the problem can subside and go away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And, I've been doing this a really long time. I also get pain at the base of my spine. You know, I really do. But I don't worry about it. I know it's the energy releasing itself. And whatever resistance there is creating the pain. Same thing in the heart chakra. People get pain in the heart. They get tense here. You understand? It's resistance to releasing that energy, to opening the heart chakra, to be worthy of love, to be worthy of, you know, having an incredible life, to having a joyous life, a happy life. And there's so much resistance. I mean, I always kid around in my retreats and tell people I'm going to hang a sign on my door, Kundalini cardiography here, trying to get people to open their heart, to break down the walls of tension that surround the heart. Same kind of walls of tensions surround the base of the spine, which is a very important place we have to open because Kundalini energy is literally the pathway to spiritual enlightenment. It's like a rocket ship that goes up the spine into the cosmos to beyond time and space to an area of spiritual enlightenment. We have to learn how to let go. And the pain is telling us that we have to learn to let go. After the retreat I just had, a number of people got flu, they got sick, they had one person got pneumonia, and all I could tell them is that the energy went so deep inside you that it released all of that crud that you've been hanging on to. And it manifests as a flu, as a pneumonia, as a problem. And if you just get quiet and take care of it, it will just go away. You're just releasing things that have been buried inside you for who knows how many lifetimes. We have resisted letting go of them.
I had a stomach virus for 1 week after my first class with you.
Yeah, you're releasing poison. It's like when they give you a cholera injection, they give you cholera. You get maybe the first day you get sick, and then it releases all that stuff, and you get protection. And it's really true. I mean, and people get colds and they freak out. They get all these medicines that may heal this and make seven things worse. You get all this, and all they got to do is just kind of relax and let go of it. Let go of it. And take an aspirin, take an Advil, take something that can reduce, if you have fever, it can reduce the fever. But you don't have to freak out and worry about it. You just let go. I remember years ago, I'll never, this is like really an important day in my spiritual growth when Rudy was doing this healing work with a woman who had cancer. And I've told this story before, but it's an important story. And he asked me to work with her. And I said, well, he said, just put your fingers on her forehead and try to allow the Shakti to go into the problem and break it up. And what I was doing is I put my fingers on her forehead and I was absorbing all the negative tension from that cancer, literally taking it to my system, couldn't even deal with it anymore. And I literally collapsed at her feet. And Rudy came back and he was smacking me and get up and run around the block 3 times. And he said, I came back to his gallery there and he said, you're trying to absorb a negative energy that is so powerful that it could literally kill you. He said, you got to drop it. You have to let go of it. You can't absorb it. He said, but the only good thing that happened is it was like getting an injection for cholera. You will be immune from these problems and be able to work on people the rest of your life. So this whole thing is about letting go of all of the blocks, the tensions inside us that are literally creating the problems. And for some crazy reason, human beings hang on to it. It's some kind of safety zone. They think that if they let go, they're going to be, attacked by some, they have to let go of the problems. Get free of these things. It gives you more creativity, more energy, there's a bigger flow of spiritual energy that can enter your system as you start letting go.
Can I ask a question, Stuart?
Yeah, of course.
Um, just just when you're saying about letting go, how do we let go and accept the cycle of life and death and be able to surrender in the face of inevitable loss
Well,
of
look,
everyone?
yeah, look, make sure you have no choice in the matter, right? I mean, I always joke around, there's nobody alive from the 17th century. We're given the gift of life. We're all born. Given that gift of life, we have to learn to treasure it. We can't live in a world of angst and anxiety and being afraid of the unknown, being afraid of everything. We have to open and allow that gift of life to truly nurture us deeply inside ourselves. Because one day we all go. What are you going to do? What can anyone do about it? People make so much drama between birth and death that it's absolutely insane. The kind of drama they create, the soap opera they create out of the gift of life. But letting go, becoming a child of God, letting that energy come into one, nurture one, grow, and using the gift of life to build a spiritual life, not to become afraid that one day we won't be here anymore. The idea that we won't be here anymore should inspire us to use the time that we're here to truly develop love, joy, gratitude, and to thoroughly embrace our lives, embrace the miracle of this life that we've been given. Instead of, well, one day it's all going to be gone. That's why the whole thing is so stupid. You'll pick up a newspaper in the media, all this crap that goes on, politics and money and economics and people killing each other and hurting each other. And it's all drama, that does nothing but create another lifetime for a person to come back here and try again. So this wonderful sacred gift of life, this incredibly creative gift of life, we have to treasure it. How do you treasure it? By living in fear. One day I'm going to die. What are you going to do about it, frankly? There's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well just open and take in the treasure of the time that we're given here that we can use to truly build a system inside that allows us to have a spiritual life, to be connected to God. And you can't have a spiritual life if your heart is closed, if you're full of tension and chaos and fear and insecurity. There's no way. When the heart opens and there's love and there's compassion, it's possible to truly transcend life and death, transcend time, transcend space. But to me, that's the job of being human, learning how to do all these things, learning how to transform your suffering into love, into joy. It's the dance of life. Instead of, you know, allowing yourself to, slog along in unhappiness and misery. And it's like that. I wrote a book called The Lotus Flower in Muddy Waters. We all are a bunch of lotus flowers living in muddy waters. All the tension of life is the muddy water. And yet, if we know how to turn it into compost, it produces an organic spiritual garden in a human being. We get stronger than the muddy water. We have built a system that's connected to infinite energy in the universe, and it gives us the strength to transform the muddy water into joy, love, openness, happiness, fun, the highest levels of what it means to live here as a human being. And I talk about this a lot lately, and I think it's a truth. It's a great truth. And then there is no more death. You understand? When you're no longer afraid of life, there's no more death. They both, it's like a dialectic. They come together and create a lotus flower, which is you. Two of them. But that's the responsibility of a human being to learn how to do this instead of living in perpetual fear of the unknown. Everybody's afraid of dying. It's the unknown. People know about 5% of what there is to know about living in this world, about life. So they're both unknowns. And as we connect with infinite energy, there's a marriage that takes place, life and death. And out of that marriage comes this lotus flower, a human being who's a conscious person. I mean, life itself is the greatest work of art. And in order to create that work of art, we have to master the internal chaos. So, Nisha, dear, you're doing it. You know, you look 1,000 times better than you used to. You continue working on yourself. You're doing a pretty good job of what I'm talking about. And you ask great questions. Does anyone else have a question? And this is not only for me, it's for all of us. For all of us, including myself, having to learn how to transform fear, insecurity, chaos into joy and love, into a reason worthy of being alive and living in the wonderment of what this world has to offer us. And it's amazing. It's sacred life. When children are born, an infant is born, everybody is full of joy and love, and everybody wants to hold them and squeeze them, and they bring that to the world. And then somewhere between there and 5 years old, it all kind of vanishes. People train them in the way they think life is supposed to be, and all of that innocence begins to disappear. So then you got to spend the rest of your life rebuilding yourself to gain what you were born with. It's amazing, you know? It's like paradise lost, and paradise gained. Does anyone else have a question they would like? Okay, so as I announced earlier, I'm going to be taking 4 days off. Thursday and Sunday, there won't be class. Look, I've been doing this for 5 years. I think I've taken 4 vacations, 4 days or 5 days at a time. So I need to take a little rest. I need to refresh myself, go do some things that I don't ordinarily do. Maybe take a trip somewhere. See. But anyway, so the next class will be on, there'll be a class tomorrow evening. If any of you, I know in Israel and in Europe, it's pretty late, but there'll be a class tomorrow evening. And then the next one will be Monday and Tuesday. It'll start again. So God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for being here, being in my life. And as I always tell you, I listen to all this stuff because I don't talk like this all day, you know? So I have to listen and learn from what goes on here myself. The best thing about life is you never quite arrive. There's always something to work towards and grow towards and get more creative about. And that really what makes life wonderful. Not that we're perfect, but we move closer and closer to a state of perfection. So God bless you all and thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.